in your power output?
It was basically holding the 9 cadence in the same gear. With the poor posture, it was power bouncing around from like 150 to 170. And with the proper posture, it's been like 170 to 190.
So is that quite a bit of change?
Yeah, it's like gone up 20 watts.
And what about the difference between pushing versus pulling with your feet?
It's a totally different kind of pressure point in the shoe to more through the heel, and I had a tendency to push with my toes. And it's pulled it all back.
Now, how about the sensation of pulling up from the hip instead of pushing down with the foot? So the focus would be on the pulling up versus pushing down.
Yeah, so I have to keep working on that.
Yeah, that's a big mind thing.
But you don't think your hip can pull because you think it's about your quads.
Yeah. So the quads, when they work, that's more of a push. This is your hip flexor. It's about this long. And when it contracts, it pulls the leg up. So all I'm doing is having you use your brain to make that hip flexor work more just by you focusing on it. So do it again. Put your mind right on there in your hip flexor. And don't even think about pedaling. Think about just pulling your legs up. That's it. From that little, and then check your output. And does it feel easier to pull up?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's easier.
You have less energy output. It's more efficient motion for you to pull than it is to push.
You're probably not just fighting the weight of lifting your own wet leg as much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so from the side view, let's go back to where you were so I can get the whole thing on camera. So these are the changes we made. So let's see, start on the last one with your hands where they normally are, shoulder blades are all the way up. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. This is his old posture, and as we continue, you're going to hear how we talk him into his new posture. I want you to note in this position, he's going to have a tremendous amount of pressure with his arms and his shoulders. From shoulder to elbow to wrist, especially forearm and hands. In this posture, they are really, his arms and hands are having to support a lot of his upper body weight. Again, over a period of a few hours of riding, that's going to cause him to fatigue. He doesn't have a lot of flex in his elbow. His shoulder's really high, especially up here you want to see. It doesn't look like it initially, but when you see him move his shoulder blade into the neutral position, he's going to have significantly more space between the shoulder and the ear. So let's continue. If your elbows were straight, the tension was in your arms, correct?
Yeah.
Good. So we're going to, except you were more upright, weren't you? No, you were right there. I'm sorry. Shoulder blades down and sternum up. You're going to have to flex more at the hip now, which helps your elbows tremendously. And then you're going to adjust your feet, paying attention to your right foot. And then you're going to put your mind on pulling up from the crease where you're... That pulling up from the crease, what we're talking about there is part of mind emotion is where you put your mind. And in the Correct My Posture program, we're very specific to origin of movement. So this crease right here, that's the hip flexor. So as that leg comes up, the thought process is pulling up from here. Very important that, with exception to checking where the pressure should come down through the ankle and the heel. Even though you're going to feel a lot on the ball of the foot, that sensory awareness on the ball of the foot is going to be heightened because your ball of your foot is actually on the pedal. Your driving force, you go over here, right here, this foot, the driving force should not be on through the ball of the foot. It should be straight through here. That's the back of the knee, straight through the center of the ankle. The hip right here, the hip flexor, again, this region right in there, it's the crease. If you were to bow down, it's right where the crease would be, and that's what we're having him focus on. So instead of focusing on the stroke, the cadence, trying to make a circular motion, his body is not making a circular motion. The circular motion is down here on the pedals. So anything that happens in this region is a reaction, it's not the action. So the whole purpose in Correct My Posture and Mind Emotion is to put your mind specifically on the cause and not the reaction. So anything this pedal does,
The circular motion, that's actually not how his body is moving. His body is actually just pulling this leg up. And because the foot's attached to a pedal, you see the circular motion. So let's continue.
And you're just going to pull up.
Smooth out the stroke a lot.
Yeah, did it smooth everything out? So your extremities, you should feel a depth. It's kind of like when you walk. When you were walking, your body felt heavy, and it was hard to walk in bad alignment. You got in good alignment using the proper feet, and all of a sudden your walk was lighter. It's the same sensation on a bike. So now your core is really driving a lot of it. Now let's work on some contrasting. Shrug your shoulders up and hold them. And notice the pressure on the hands and the arms. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Now when you drop the shoulders back down, see how the arms got loose. That's a good...
Again, the contrasting is super important. It's what heightens your awareness. As an athlete begins to fatigue, you're not as mentally focused. So if something in your optimal aerodynamic alignment is off, you want to be able to apply some of these contrast motions, and that will at least waken up the brain again, get you tapped into your sensory awareness so you're not getting out of alignment as you fatigue.
Contrast. Now we're going to contrast with your legs. And what I want you to do is pedal as fast as you can. Count to 30, accelerating the push. Push, 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 push. It's all fives.
So in this one, you are concentrating on probably for most cyclists, a lot of their normal motion of pushing down the pedal, or the circular motion, and a lot of their focus is basically on the quadriceps being the primary mover instead of the hip being the primary mover up here.
Push, push, push. Count to 30.
Fast forward.
So you're getting more tired. Now switch. Should be about 30 seconds. Now go to a pull. Mine's on your pulling the leg up.
Notice how much smoother his stroke gets. He also dropped his alignment, his shoulder blade back into neutral. The elbows naturally relaxed. You can see even his hands relaxing, and watch how smooth his stroke gets, or his cadence.
You can breathe more calmly.
Yeah, you're breathing more calmly. You're not expending the amount of energy, and your cardiovascular system doesn't have to work as hard from there. Now go back to your push. Balls of feet. Feel the difference? It's very extremity driven. Now we'll switch your mind and go back to your pull. What a difference.
Yeah, definitely calms it down.
Yeah. All right. So that's a perfect example of doing some contrasting on a bike. Contrasting for cyclists should always be part of your program, both when you're outdoors training indoors, potentially even in competition, just a one-time contrast motion just to check and analyze your position. But it keeps that heightened sensory awareness going, so your brain knows what position your body's in at all times. Very, very important.